Baltimore police officer caught on camera trying to run a man down.
Today, we're looking at a video of a patrol car chasing a man on foot through a residential neighborhood in Baltimore, and it's raising a lot of questions. We're going to take a look at the footage, but before we do, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Rob. I'm a dad and former law enforcement officer, and this channel is the second act. It's about self-defense, awareness, and mental prep for today's chaos. Now, I want to be clear up front. We don't have all the facts when it comes to this situation. All we have is a short viral video, and the only one presenting to the news media is the person who filmed the footage. It's not all of the footage and appears to be only a few seconds of what actually exists. There's no body cam footage released yet, there's no radio traffic from dispatch, and there's no full context. I think it's important that we start with the initial interaction. In this footage, it appears like a normal engagement, whether the officer was there on a specific call investigating or whether or not he made initial contact based on an observation. He says something along the lines,
It's getting a little hot. It's getting a little hot. I need you guys to take a lap.
According to reports, one person had a failure to appear warrant for driving without a license. That's the only context we have right now, but if that's the case, a pursuit as we see it in the video is a bit extreme, especially without any further information. Here the footage continues as the subject moves away on foot, and as we all see, the vehicle is now pursuing him at a high rate of speed.
Chase goes on for over a minute, even showing the officer crashing through a fence into a nearby yard off of Park Heights Avenue. Police Commissioner Richard Worley calling the video disturbing and alarming, saying in part, "This is not how we expect our officers to behave, and this incident does not reflect the values or standards of the Baltimore Police Department."
From a policy standpoint, this can constitute as a pursuit, even if the suspect is on foot. We usually are familiar with vehicle pursuits, but at this time, this usually requires communication with dispatch, supervisor approval, and a constant assessment of risk. And here the vehicle continues down what appears to be an alleyway and into a grassy area. Footage also shows the pursuit down a gravel road, and this might be where he makes contact with the fence. It's not very clear based on what I can see. At this point, the visible threat has retreated. The person is moving away. There's no weapon visible in the footage. So the question becomes, what did the officer see that justified continuing the pursuit into a residential area at this speed? All right, let's talk about what stands out here. First off, this is a disturbing video to watch. Anytime we see a car accelerating towards someone on foot at a high rate of speed is very disturbing. Vehicles used like this are deadly weapons, and it violates our normal expectations of how police operate. And that's why it went viral. Even as strategically crafted clips without context, this looks pretty bad. 2, from a policy standpoint, this is a pursuit. Like I said before, I'm not going to dive into specifics, but each department usually has their own policies on how to handle them. We typically think of pursuits as high-speed chases, but this would still be a pursuit, even if the subject is on foot. Most departments require dispatch communication and supervisor approval before engaging and continuing a pursuit, and without actual radio traffic, we cannot determine at what stage this footage occurred. Policies specifically address pursuits because of the risk to the public, the officers, and the suspect. It really comes down again to risk assessment. 3, the person is moving away. At this time, the footage doesn't show a weapon, and there's no immediate danger to the officer or public that we can see. So the decision to continue the pursuit into a residential area, that's what's being investigated. 4, we don't have the body cam footage yet. It's possible that the officer saw something that we can't see in this video. It's possible that there was communication with dispatch that we haven't heard. That's why the department suspended the officer pending investigation, not to judge, but to review whether policy was followed. From a civilian awareness standpoint, here's what you need to know. If you see a situation escalating, whether it's the police, a road rage incident, or a confrontation, create distance. Don't engage. The priority to pull out a camera at first instinct is just stupid. With that said, we live in a world where everything is being recorded, no matter what side you're on. You're going to have footage of your actions, and that will determine future ramifications. Your decisions in those moments will be seen and judged by the public or by jurors. So let's ask the real question. Does the action by the officer reduce risk or increase it? In this case, the footage suggests that the risk increased, and that's why we're talking about it. This is disturbing because it just feels wrong, visually and instinctively. But that doesn't mean we need to rush to judgment. The department did the right thing by suspending the officer and investigating. Now it's about transparency and accountability. For the rest of us, the lesson is about perspective and patience. We can analyze what's visible without pretending that we know the full story. Now, what about you? If you have thoughts on this, drop a comment and let's talk about it. Stay aware, stay prepared. This is the second act, and thanks for watching.